Hey guys, we're here today to take you on somewhat of a story walk, or a walk through a story. And we are doing this because our story walk that is currently at General Butler State Park, that is sponsored by the library, the Three Rivers Health Department, and General Butler State Park, is getting a permanent location with new things that hold the story, and it's going to be so nice. And so we wanted to kind of promote that, and it should be complete within a few weeks. So when it is complete, we get the go ahead, we are going to take you on a video story walk. But today I'm going to show you a different kind of story walk, and what is a neat thing to do with any book, and I'm going to highlight several books today that are a few of my faves. The first one we're going to talk about is Brown Bear, Brown Bear, which is by Bill Martin Jr., and the illustrations are by Eric Carle. And when I have favorite books, or books I really want children to dive into, to promote early literacy, I like to make what I call story baskets. It makes a book come alive just like you would be doing in an actual story walk. So I get whatever I think might be a good container that'll fascinate kiddos. Like right here for this story, I have a basket that I like that has nice texture and nice color. And I familiarize myself with the book, and I pick different story elements that are in the book. And that way, your child or your grandchild or someone that you're working with, students in school, you can allow them to retell the story themselves, act out the story, dramatize it in their own way. So I'm going to show you some of the story elements from Brown Bear, Brown Bear. And this is a fantastic book to work on fluency because the lines repeat themselves. I have a 2.5-year-old little grandbaby girl that literally can read the story herself. She turns the pages and she says the actual lines from each page. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And then the neat thing is from this, the authors jump to red bird, what do you see? So I've picked different things from the story. Here's Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. So I have several other things. There's a white dog in the story. There is a green frog. There's purple cat, blue horse, black sheep, and several other animals. Also, if you can't manage to pull together these type of things, and these are just things from the Walmart dollar section, Dollar Tree. This was a Christmas ornament. I couldn't find a blue horse and a purple cat, so my daughter-in-law in California made these for me out of felted wool to fit the story. So you can gather your items in any way, shape, or form, or you can even go online and get pictures, images from the story, and you can laminate them or put contact paper on them yourself to make them durable. And my my granddaughter loves taking these and laying them out and doing the story in order, and she tells it even without the book. And sometimes we take things that I have on hand, like colored shapes, and she matches red bird with the red color, or yellow duck with the yellow. So we're working on colors. Okay, we're going to move on to our next book and quickly highlight it. Okay, my next fave to highlight, and I love this author, Leo Leone, and this is about Cornelius. And he hatched out of an egg and thought he was a chicken and should walk upright, which children love these stories. And I got a little tiny basket. I got a cheap Easter egg, and I found a little bitty crocodile alligator in there, and I put him in the egg so he could hatch and they could actually go through the story and see the little alligator hatch out of the egg. And they love that it's enclosed in this cute little basket. And then I happen to have, this was my son Zeke's favorite toy that he used to sleep with. And so this little toy has become Cornelius. This next edition is to promote math and measurement skills, or just have fun pretending, because they always want to do whatever you're doing. So this is Stir, Quack, Crack, Whisk, and Bake, a book about little cakes. And in the book, you do all these nice adverbs, stirring and whisking and making cupcakes. So I have a baking basket, and I have a chef apron, a chef hat, several little dollar store whisks and spatulas. I have some fake eggs that they can pretend to crack, a mixing bowl, pot holder, measuring cup, cupcake tins, and a rolling pin. So as you go through the book, they can pretend, and then after you're reading the book, they can look at it and do it themselves. The whole key is early literacy and retelling the story, or getting into the story in a more in-depth way. The next book I want to highlight is Mouse Count by Ellen Stoll Wash. And this is a fantastic counting book promoting not only literacy, but early math skills and numeracy. And there's a whole bunch in the series. There's Mouse Magic, Mouse Paint, many different opportunities to create different baskets. However, this one's for counting. So, and this is a cute little story about a snake who tries to get mice, 10 of them actually. So it's working on counting to 10, that base 10. And he gets them in a jar. And so all I did for this one is I went to the pet aisle and got these cute little mice. So I have a total of 10 mice that Mr. Snake, and you can go get yourself a rubber snake at Dollar Tree. Mr. Snake gets all of his mice that he wants to eat, and he collects them. One little mouse makes noise, which the kiddos love, and he's getting ready to eat them, and they trick him with a nice stone. And so kids love the story. They love the fact that these mice don't get eaten and that they trick Mr. Slithery Snake. You can do the same thing. I used contact paper here. I actually drew the mice from the book and colored them in with colored pencils, so you don't have to go to the store and spend a bunch. Although the little cat treats were not that pricey. And you can even, if you don't have a jar, you can draw one off yourself, and they can pretend to put the mice in the jar like that. I also made these little necklaces. And so they can act out the story by somebody being the snake and somebody being each of the 10 different little mouse. Here's mouse number 4. And so you can get your kiddos together and do that with them. And that promotes understanding the story and good counting skills 1 to 10. Okay, the next book, and this is a super fave of mine. This is Owl Babies by Martin Waddell and illustrated by Patrick Benson. And it is the sweetest story, in particular coming up on Mother's Day, about this mama owl. These 3 little baby owls wake up to find that their mommy is gone, and they're very worried about her. And the littlest one has the repeat line of, "I want my mommy." So it's just the sweetest little story. We have most of these books in the library, so you can come in and check them out and to be able to go home and put together your story at them. Or while you're in the library, we do have the Owl Babies puppets. And this is Mama Owl, and inside of her, she has Sarah, Sarah and Percy and little Bill, who says, I want my mommy. So you can act out the story this way. Come into the library and check out our library puppets and the library book, Owl Babies. For my, most of this stuff was things I have at home from my experience in the school system, and I now keep them to work at home with my grandchildren, or sometimes I take them when I work at Sunday school with the kids. They like hearing a story, and I tie it to whatever lesson I'm doing, Bible lesson I'm doing. So for this, I just used this chunky wooden wreath, which was left over from some craft project I was gonna do and never did. So I repurposed it for this, for Owl Babies. This is the branches that they sit on. And my little puppets don't fit the story exactly, except it does give me the ability to talk a little bit about the animal kingdom and owls in general, and that they all look different. This is a snow owl, a different kind of owl. This is a bigger owl that you can use as a puppet. This one's a finger puppet. So it gives you the ability, or you can see that I don't always have the exact right thing for the book, but we make it work when we're acting out the story, or we work with it. I also have, this is a motion activated little owl that you clip on somewhere, and he hoots. He needs a new battery though. And then I think that was dollar store. And then I have this little wooden musical instrument. To demonstrate the sound that Mama makes as she's coming back to the nest. Because Mama does reappear. She was out seeking food for them. So come in and check out our wonderful books in the children's area. Do a story walk of your own through creating a story basket, a story tin, whatever interesting container, because that's part of it, is putting these things in a unique little container that children are fascinated, and it makes books and stories come alive for them, and you're promoting early literacy as well as all these other great skills like early numeracy, math, talking about animals. So anyway, come in and check it out, and just know that we are in the works for taking you on the actual story walk at General Butler State Park.